We welcome you back, John Morris Show on a Wednesday. And, man, on the road again, Jerry Hill. The distance not going to keep him from being with us. It is, Jerry, if I'm right, it is 7:34 a.m. Is that right?
That's about right, John. I think, Pacific time, I'm good.
You're very kind to join us. How was travel yesterday, getting out there?
It was a day.
Okay.
I had a flight out of DFW at 10:40 that got delayed, of course, and got into Portland fairly early afternoon, had a little bit of a holdover there, and then flew from Portland to Eugene, which is basically a Dallas to Waco junket. Like, it's just, you're probably up in the air maybe 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So.
Very good. Weather okay out there? What's it like in Eugene?
Yeah, I got a notice maybe from Evan Elizuda that there was rain at the track. Like, I had looked at the forecast and it was clear all week. But it's beautiful. I got here in time to go out to dinner with them last night, and it was a little bit cool, but felt great, So
right.
It felt really good, particularly. Yeah. I hate to rub it in, there, but man, it really did feel good, and it'll be like that most of the week. I had seen nothing but sunshine, and I think it gets up to maybe high 80s by Saturday.
Okay.
It's still very comfortable.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I'm glad we have video. You have a nice room there. Your room looks you got a good sized room at the hotel.
John, they only the best for me.
For Baylor Track and Field.
That's right. Actually, I was going to try to do, because literally just outside my room, there's this beautiful view of the mountains.
Oh.
But when I turned my camera there, all you could see was like the sun. So I wasn't sure how to work that, but it really is a beautiful view here with the mountains in the background and everything. This is just such a gorgeous area.
Yeah, really cool. All right, glad you made it safe. Competition begins today. Baylor's got one relay, and DeMario Prince running today on the opening day.
Yeah, DeMario gets things going. He runs at, I believe it's 6:08 local time, so 8:08 your time, and then the men's. So we have one of the very first events, and then the men's 4x4 relay will run. It'll be like 8:36 p.m. local time, so a little after 10 your time, and that'll wrap up the first day. DeMario obviously won a bronze medal indoors in the 60-meter hurdles. He's ranked, I believe, 5th outdoors in the 110-meter hurdles. School record holder. I think he has a great chance to obviously make it to the finals. He just has to run his race, basically. Yeah. And then the relay, they're a long shot. They ran their season best time, 3:02.7 at regionals. And I think Coach Ford has said they'll have to run in 3:01s to get in. Well, that's, if you can drop another second and think about that between 4 legs, I think it's very doable. They just got to run together and put, obviously their best race together at the right time to get to the finals.
So today in both those events, the semifinals and the top 8, I guess, advance to the finals coming up on Friday.
I think they do top 9, John, for whatever reason. Like, only 8 score, but they take 9 to the finals, and that's in the field events too. Like, if you're in a field event, they take 9. So, like, say in the long jump, they do 3 jumps, and then if you're in the top 9, you advance to the finals. I remember I was up here one year, and Desmond Hilliard, if you remember from football, he was up here, and I think it was maybe in the discus, and he was like 7th, I think, through the first 3 rounds, and then he got bumped to 9th. I don't know why they do it that way. I guess just to give people more chances or whatever, but like it makes sense to me to have 8 in the final and those 8 score, but that's not the way the NCAA does it. And, who are we to question the NCAA?
Oh, that opens a can of worms. Yeah, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
that. So those two events today, and then tomorrow, the women sort of take center stage.
Yeah, that's right, John. We have 9 entries, which matched last year's total. We have 9 entries on the women's side, and most of those will get going on Thursday. Logan Todorovich, who's in the heptathlon, it doesn't even start till Friday, but the women do take center stage tomorrow. Tyraya Kelly in 3 events: the 100, the 200, and the 4x1 relay. And then you have the pole vaulters, Molly Haywood, Tinley Kuhn. And then you have long jumper Janae DeGans. And in the 400-meter hurdles, you have Serafima Lucero. So good number. Oh, and Ruth Camelli, too, in the 10,000 meters. So we really do have a good group on the women's side, John. And looking at it, there's not a lot of them ranked in the top 10. Molly and Tinley are both ranked in the top 10. Tyraya in the 200, she's ranked 5th. Tyraya won a bronze medal indoors in the pole vault. In the 200 meters, and she's ranked right about there, maybe 4th or 5th in the 200 meters. And then obviously she's in the 100 as well. So those are the ones that are ranked like in the top 10 or so. But, I think you were there when Coach talked about it. He feels good about this group in terms of the number of that could advance to the finals. So I think there's chances for all those. Obviously, if you're here, you're good. You've had a good season and all that. So I think any of those have a chance to make it to the finals, but I would be surprised if Tyraya doesn't make it at least in the 200. And with her as the leadoff leg on the 4x1, I wouldn't count them out either.
Yeah. When she started running, Tyraya Kelly, when she started running the 100, it was just kind of for grins, wasn't it? Like, hey, you're doing so great in the 200. Let's run 100 and see how it goes.
And obviously, that's not a combination that's unusual. I mean, Trayvon Bromell did it when he was here, and you've seen a lot of them do that. Michael Johnson was that unusual 200 400 combo. You don't see a lot of that just because of where they are in the track meet, and that's just a lot on you. But you do see a little bit more of this. But yeah, Coach Ford talked to her about running it just to increase her speed for the 200. I don't know if it was for grins. I don't know if running 100 meters, at 12 seconds, I don't know if that's fun, but for grins, but it did help her in the 200 as well. She set the school record in that. She has the school record indoor and outdoor now. So, but yeah, I do think it's helped her in the 200. And again, it's Tyraya. I would not count her out in the 100 either.
Right. Where do you think, on the women's side, where do you think Baylor's best chance for points would be?
Yeah, I would say definitely Tyraya in the 200. I think either or both of the pole vaulters can score, surely. Yeah. I think beyond that, Sema has just run so well here at the end of the year, Serafima Lucero. I wouldn't count her out. She's run some of her best races this, Big 12 regional. She's run some of her best races here late. So I think she's one that's very motivated. And I said Big 12. She actually false started at the Big 12, but it was the meet before that. She's run all of her best times here late. And so I could see her making the finals. Janae DeGans has been up here. So I think she could make the long jump final. She hasn't had her best jumps this year. She's jumped over 22 feet last year. So I think if she gets up to that level, she can make the final. She was, I believe, 12th here last year outdoors, John. So I think she definitely has a chance. Again, some of the other ones, we'll see. Ruth Camelli has been up here. Ruth, I believe, finished right around 18th. Maybe higher than that, but she was in the finals, obviously, of the 10K, and that is one that's just one day. Obviously, they're not going to do a semifinal and a final of that. So basically, she's in the final, and she'll run tomorrow night. But the fact that she's been up here helps, and she ran such a good race at regional. I could see her, placing well. She just got to stay up there. That's what she did so well at the regional. There was a lead group of about 3, and she wasn't going to catch them. But that next group, she kind of just stayed in there, stayed near the top of that group, and then she was able to make it in. So I could see her doing well as well. So great group. I think Molly, having been here so many times, even though Tinley beat her in the Big 12s, I would give the edge to Molly just because she's been up here so many times, John. This is her third straight trip to the NCAA outdoors. She's been to the last 3 indoor and outdoors. So she just has so much experience at this level that I could definitely see her. I can't remember. It was before you got there. Bryce Cherry was doing a feature on the pole vaulters.
Right.
And I just specifically asked Tinley because she hasn't jumped it in competition. I said, "Have you jumped 15 in practice?" And she said, "Absolutely." So that's not with the. I can't even think what that deal is called. It's where it's like a bungee type thing.
Yeah, I think they call it the bungee.
Yeah. So it's not with that. She's actually jumped over a regular bar at 15 feet. So I think both of them, obviously have that potential. And it may take that or more, John, just because the pole vault is so intense this year. I believe Molly at 14.10 3/4 is like 7th, and Tinley is maybe 9th at 14.10 1/4. So they both probably got to jump a little or vault a little better than they have up to this point, but I think they're certainly capable of it.
Yeah, I got you. Very cool. Final thought. That's a great location, isn't it? Hayward Field. And we were talking earlier about the history of MSG, Madison Square Garden. But this is Tracktown, USA, and that field is that facility. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah, and John, and Fayetteville is a little bit of the same way in terms of what I appreciate about both of those places is the fans recognize greatness.
Yeah.
Like you can see a javelin throw, long jump, whatever it is, and they know when a good mark or good time or whatever has happened. So both of those places are amazing about this. But yes, this is no question Tracktown, USA. It even meets you as you're coming into the Eugene Airport. Welcome to Tracktown, USA.
Wow. Cool.
So it's a great historic place. I don't remember if I had told you this story, John, but my great aunt lived up here. She lived in Springfield, which is a twin city of Eugene. So I would come and visit with her. And the year was 1976. I was 15 years old, and I came up here. Later found out because I wasn't as much into track at that point. But the Olympic trials were going on here in Eugene, Oregon, while I was here. And I guarantee you, because of the way things were, I guarantee you could have just walked up and gone into the stadium. So I missed that. I missed that opportunity, but I've been a few times since then.
That is cool. That was the height of Steve Prefontaine, right?
Yes.
Running for Oregon.
It was just a great era for track. But Steve Prefontaine was in his prime. I could have just walked out there and seen some of these greats, but missed that opportunity.
How about that? That's great. And describe, so they renovated that facility several years ago, and they've got, I guess it's an office building at one corner that is shaped like an Olympic torch, basically.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's called the Hayward Field Tower, John.
Okay.
And I had looked it up at one point. It also depicts 5 of the icons of University of Oregon track. And obviously one of them is Coach Bowerman, who I don't even know how long he led the program, how many NCAA championships he won, but Prefontaine is one of those as well. So 5 of those are depicted in it. I think it's a 10-level tower, but they have 5 of the icons that are a big part of that. And Bowerman, obviously, that before they did these renovations, I remember they had a Bowerman room at the end of one of the tracks, and this kind of took the place of that. But it's really kind of iconic, just the look and everything. So very cool, and just a great place to watch track.
And you'll fit right in. You wear green and gold. You'll fit right in there in Eugene, right?
Yes, I will. And there is a lot. Now their green is different, but I've already seen a ton of it, so it'll be fun, John.
Very cool. Hey, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Thanks for getting up early. Take a nap, and thanks for being on with us.
I know we're probably running late, but I wanted to give you one note that came from former sports Waco Trib sports editor Kim Gorham. Shea Langoliers hit his 17th homer of the season Monday night in a loss to the Brewers. That was his 105th. He moved ahead of David Murphy to number 2 all time among Baylor players, MLB players.
Yeah.
Obviously behind Max Muncy. Max, I think, has 229. So Shea Langoliers, number 2 on the list for Baylor MLB home run hitters.
That's a great note. Good.
There
Thanks.
you go.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, man.
Have a great day.
Thank you very much.